And Miroslav Stoffel at the line. And Stony Brook wins first possession. Stony Brook on offense, moving left to right. Red numbers, red letters, trimmed in red, navy blue jerseys. Here comes Tyke Green. Driving to the left side, kick to the left corner. He's got Hobway, nowhere to go. Up top to Mo Gee, spins inside the paint. Lefty layup, well off the mark. And the rebound taken down by Hartford. Pushing in transition, here comes Tracy Carter. Over to the corner, he's got Austin Williams dancing around. Back up top to Carter, drifting to his right. And he hands it off to Stoffel. Back to Williams, pulls up, free throw line jumper, misses in and out. Foul called, offensive foul.
Foul called away from the ball. Probably looked like an illegal screen.
It comes with about 40 seconds off the clock. No score. Stony Brook with their second possession.
Mogi on his last shot just had a good look for a layup, but it didn't hit the backboard until too late.
Tyke Green holds on the right wing, picks up his dribble, sends it up top to Jaden Sales. Nowhere to go. Looking to pass it. He does. Up top, Mo Gee. Hit a three yesterday. Pulls up from downtown. Can't hit. Ball out of bounds. And it'll stay with Stony Brook.
Mo Gee tried to get another shot. It went sky high, but just refused to go inside the net. But Omar Hobway, close to getting a second chance opportunity, able to keep it in Stony Brook's hands.
That three-pointer that Mo Gee hit yesterday as the inbound goes to Juan Felix Rodriguez. Picks up his dribble on the right corner. Sends it up top to Hobway. Floater inside. Got it. First points of the day goes to Stony Brook. 2-0.
Omar Hobway also part of a 6-0 run for Stony Brook late in the game along with Mo Gee's three. And Hobway getting the first points shows you how consistent he can be when he's a starter.
Here's Tracy Carter. Drives inside. Works against Gee. Crossover. Free throw line jumper. Splash. Tie game at 2.
Nice little response by Carter trying to work it against Mo Gee's defenses, creating enough separation to stop Gee from having a chance to block him.
Bounce pass to Jaden Sales at the left elbow. Holds it, kicks it out. Juan Felix Rodriguez for three, misses too short. Gee with the rebound, and he's called for a loose ball foul. Ball's going back to the Hawks. As I was saying, Zach, that three-pointer that Mo Gee hit yesterday was like something out of a movie where it just bounced high off the back of the rim and just fell right and hit the bottom of the net. You initially called it as a miss, and it looked like a miss, and then it just kind of fell in the right place.
Well, I was getting a little quick to seeing who was going to be able to pick up the rebound eventually.
Here comes Stoffel backing his way inside the paint. Nifty pass inside to a cutting Hunter Marks. He falls to the ground. You heard the whistle, and that's going to be a foul against Stony Brook. So the shot clock resets to 20 and an inbound upcoming. Frankie Policelli coming in. We mentioned his lingering groin issue. Comes in for Mo Gee. That's the only substitution on the floor. Tracy Carter inbounds it to Stoffel. Pulls up from downtown. Left wing three, no good. Omar Hobway snags the board for Stony Brook.
As you said with Mo Gee having that crazy three yesterday, same thing with Stoffel.
Frankie Policelli holds at the top. Sends it right to Green. Over to the left elbow, Jaden Sales trying to post up. Nowhere to go. Back up top to Omar Hobway. Swims inside and falls to the ground. Takes a hard fall. He had a collision along the baseline. The foul is going to go against Hartford.
And it's against Stoffel again.
Already 2 fouls for Stoffel with only 2.5 off the clock. A 2-2 ball game. And that's going to warrant a substitution.
Stoffel's body proves to be a helpful addition to Hartford, but with his 2 fouls early in this game, who knows what this could create for the Hawks.
Quick inbound to Policelli. Quick feed inside to Juan Felix Rodriguez. Can't hit the layup underneath. And the rebound taken down by Hartford. Michael Dunn comes in for Hartford. Austin Williams has the ball. Picks up his dribble. He's trapped. Whistle blown along the baseline. It's going against Hobway.
Hobway may have had a little contact right there, and Omar can't believe it because it seemed like he was certain that he had really good defense down. Because Dunn, who had the ball, he was just about ready to lose it and tried to get to somebody.
Carter inbounds it. Quick trigger. Jumper is good for Michael Dunn. Just checked in and popped the long 2. And the Hawks have a 4-2 advantage over Stony Brook. Bounce pass to Jaden Sales. Holds right elbow. Kick to the right corner. 3 ball on the way. Misses too strong. And the rebound taken down by Hartford, pushing quickly in transition. DJ Mitchell up the floor, sends it up top to Austin Williams, resets, now works against Policelli. Crossover at the free throw line, foul called against Frankie Policelli.
Stony Brook's getting a little too calm with what they've done so far, because defense, they try hard, but the shots haven't been connecting. They need to work on that too.
Inbound to Williams. Sends it left to Dunn. Feed along the baseline. Hunter Marks trying to post up. Kick back out to Dunn. Back out to Marks. Thinks about a three. Now drives left side to the cup. No. Whistle blown. A tie up underneath and a foul called against Stony Brook.
It's against Hobway again. Tried to get a charge, but refs say it was a blocking the other way, and that's another unfortunate play called against Omar.
And this time in the act of shooting, so Marks is at the line with a chance for a couple. The Hawks are up 4-2, 16:37 remaining in the first half.
I'm sure Stony Brook doesn't need this many fouls already. They're up to 5 in the first 4 minutes of action.
First shot is good. 3-point advantage. Hunter Marks played all 40 minutes yesterday. Ended up with 13 points, 10 rebounds, his second double-double of the season. Hartford in all white, red numbering, red lettering. Not the slick black jerseys we saw yesterday. Those are my favorites so far. Hunter Marks hit them both from the line. Green inbounds it for Stony Brook and takes it up the floor. 6-2, Hawks over Seawolves. Bounce pass, right elbow. Jaden Sales pulls up, long two, jumper, rattles home.
Well, Jaden Sales, we talked about how his consistency at the free throw line is pretty absent, but his ability to produce mid-range jumpers doesn't seem to be absent at all. He has a good consistency with that.
Back to a 2-point game, 6-4, Hartford leads. Kick to the left corner. Here comes Williams. Drives the duration of the baseline, now kicks to the right corner. 3 ball on the way, misses too short. Marks couldn't hit, and Frankie Policelli skies for the board. 4 minutes off the clock in the opening half. Tyke Green pulls up from downtown, misses too short. Williams grabs the rebound.
I don't know if I would agree with what Green decided to go right there. I mean, Sales was covered really well. Policelli had a chance.
Williams for 3, got it!
Yeah, I tried to tell you. I mean, you can't get too carried away with trying to go for a 3 because eventually the other team will make you pay for that.
Rather, that was Tracy Carter, not Austin Williams. Either way, it's a 5-point lead for Hartford. Frankie Policelli holds at the top. Inside to Jaden Sales. He draws the double, and he has it picked off. Hartford quickly pushing the other way. Marks inside. Layup no good.
Should have gone in, but it just really rolled around much more than anybody would have anticipated.
Up ahead, Stony Brook. Frankie Policelli over to the right corner to Tyke Green. Holds. Nowhere to go. Whistle blown on the other end of the floor. And that's going to go against Hartford. And that's going to bring a timeout on the floor, our first of the day, with 5 minutes off the clock in the opening half. It's a 9-4 Hawks advantage over Stony Brook. Let's step aside. You're listening to Stony Brook men's basketball on the longtime home of the Seawolves, 90.1 FM, WUSB Stony Brook. Back to Ken in the studio. Thank you, Ken. Quick 3 from TSM. Can't hit off the back of the rim, and Hartford grabs the board. Hartford leading by 5, 9-4 with 5 minutes off the clock in the first half. It's Tracy Carter across the timeline, guarded by Juan Felix Rodriguez. Over to Austin Williams, left wing. Downstairs feed to Hunter Marks. Tight defense, Stony Brook. Inside to Williams. Tries to get to the cup. A foul called. Layup no good. And Williams will head to the line.
And Policelli almost thought he had a good look defensively again since the shot was just short. But refs say that he's guilty again, and that's already the 16th foul. Can't get too much into foul trouble with something like this already. This is putting a lot of undue pressure on the Seawolves.
The Hawks have a 9-4 advantage over Stony Brook. First shot from Williams. Misses off the back of the rim, no good. Austin Williams, the redshirt senior from Roseland, New Jersey. The leading scorer on the team, averages about 12.5 points per game. Took over the leading scorer role after a hip injury to Moses Flowers ended his season.
Even without Flowers, Hartford has still been contending well. The fact that they've been able to split the series with the American East League UMBC Retrievers says a lot.
Second shot is good. 1 of 2 from the line goes Williams, and it's a 6-point advantage for the Hawks. 5.5 off the clock in the first half. Juan Felix Rodriguez across the timeline. Hands it off to Mogi on the right elbow. Up top to Tyke Green. Swims inside. Gets to the cup. Righty layup. Off the mark. Well too strong. Doesn't even hit the rim. Here comes Hartford the other direction. Just saunters across the floor. Tracy Carter brings it across the timeline.
And still a lot of shooting trouble for Stony Brook. Didn't get any better yesterday. As you said, ever since they came off the COVID-19 pause, shooting's just not looked well.
Austin Williams inside. Looked like he had an angle. Instead kicks it to the corner. 3-ball. Off the mark. Hunter Marks couldn't hit, but he was fouled. Tyke Green was covering him, and Hunter Marks will go to the free throw line.
And again, this is just getting a little too frustrating now for Gino Ford because his players has not shown any improvement since yesterday, especially with the offense. They are still only shot 2 shots. They've only made 2 shots in the first 6 minutes. Now Hartford can extend their lead.
6 minutes gone by in the first half. First shot from Marks is good.
Hunter Marks does well at the free throw line. He is over 76% from the charity stripe.
11 for the score. Second shot. Goes in.
Took a little bounce off the back iron.
Couple substitutions. Leighton Elliott Sewell coming into the game for Stony Brook. He didn't play yesterday. Averages about 10.5 minutes a game for Stony Brook off the bench. 6 minutes gone by. Third shot. All 3 go in for Hunter Marks, and it's a 13-4 advantage for Hartford.
Stony Brook needs to respond with their shooting because that's been, as I said, continues to be the problem. With who they have on the court, they need to step up.
Here comes Leighton Elliott Sewell to the cup. He was stripped, stepped on the baseline, and he was trying to drive to the basket. He had the ball in his grip, even though he was stripped, and that's going to be a turnover for Stony Brook. Hartford with possession.
And Stony Brook with 2 turnovers. Hartford has 1. Stony Brook just hasn't been able to do well with the rebounds as well. The shots, what can I say, it's still a problem.
Tracy Carter holds left wing. Guarded tightly by Juan Felix Rodriguez. Sends it up top to Williams. Spins inside. Gets to the cup. Can't finish. Too short on the layup.
Stony Brook's defense is going to have to try and save him in this game.
Pushing quickly. Gee to the cup. He finishes. Two-handed slam for Mo Gee.
We did not see that from Mo Gee yesterday because he didn't have too many opportunities. But something like this that can reignite the confidence for Stony Brook, he got something.
You give him a runway, and Mo Gee provides liftoff. Driving around the perimeter. DJ Mitchell nowhere to go. Over to Marks in the corner. Sends it the other way. Now up top. Williams for 3. Misses in and out. Rebound. Fought for and taken by Juan Felix Rodriguez.
I think he's starting to feel something.
Stony Brook with a pep in their step. Foul called the other direction. That's going to go against Hartford. And it's going to go against Tracy Carter. 13-6. Hartford has the advantage over the Seawolves with 12:50 remaining in the first half. Inbound from the sideline upcoming for Stony Brook. Inbound goes to Mogi, holds right elbow, now pulls up, long 2, banks it home.
Very impressive. Now he's starting to get his way down with the mid-range jumpers, and that's Stony Brook. You know that if they can shoot well, then they can win games. Defense going to hold on for a little while, and as long as they keep it up in the next few minutes, as they have been doing for a bit, there's also something in that.
Tracy Carter slithers inside, kicks to the right corner, triple on the way, off the mark, too short, Williams couldn't hit. Here comes Stony Brook. Trailing by 5, 13-8 the score. Juan Felix Rodriguez, top of the perimeter, gets inside, drives to the cup, handoff to Gee, loses the ball, turnover. Here comes Hartford. The other direction, quick trigger 3 from the top, off the mark, no good. And Stony Brook takes it the other direction.
Well, too quick as far as I could tell. Yeah, William had time to set up a strategy, but he said, I want to do it already.
Inside, Leighton Elliott Sewell was fouled. He was going up for a layup, so that will be in the act of shooting, Zach.
Yes, so that will send us to another immediate timeout.
Yes, it will. 13-8. The Hawks leading the Seawolves with 11:47 remaining in the first half. You're listening to Stony Brook men's basketball on the longtime home of the Seawolves, 90.1 FM, WUSB Stony Brook. Back to Ken in the studio. Thanks, Ken. 13-8, Hawks over the Seawolves. 13-8, Hawks over the Seawolves. 11:47 remaining in the first half. Jonah Karp, Zach Wilson on hand from Island Federal Arena. Leighton Elliott Sewell at the free throw line, looking for a couple shots. Stony Brook trailing by 5. Sewell didn't play yesterday. First shot from the line falls. His first points of the series comes at the line.
Sewell is 6 of 10 overall from the charity stripe this season. Doesn't get too many opportunities at the free throw line, but he can help when he gets there, and he does get the second.
2 of 2 from the free throw line. That proved to be Stony Brook's undoing yesterday. They didn't get to the line often. The 2 shots they missed both came from the hands of Jaden Sales. Oh, a turnover the other direction. Quickly in transition. TSM slams it home.
Well, he was wide open to get the assist from TSM, but Stevenson Moore decided to go for that dunk himself, and even with being at 6'3", he still has a great vertical jump.
It's a 1-point game. That's a department where Stony Brook couldn't capitalize on yesterday. 0 points off of turnovers for Stony Brook in yesterday's outing.
Stony Brook had a large lead late in the first half, but they just couldn't complete it completely. And now it looks like the same thing with Hartford. And now the problem is they can't, whatchamacallit.
Michael Dunn throws it away. The ball rolls out of bounds. Stony Brook couldn't push it in transition, and it was last touched by the Seawolves.
And so Hartford will have the ball. They have to get it have to inbound it from their own end, but 5 seconds on the shot clock. That's still defense for you. Stony Brook really going on a bit of a run so far, 8-0 in the last 3 minutes.
Someone needs to put it up quickly. Who's going to get to the basket? Layup, no good. PJ Henry just checked in, went all the way to the basket with enough time to put it up and in. Couldn't get it to fall, and since it didn't touch the rim, that's going to count as a shot clock violation. The Hawks still lead it by 1, 13-12, with 11 minutes remaining in the first half, and Stony Brook's going to have the basketball.
Now both teams have entered the bonus for the second half of this first half. Both teams have been fouling a lot most recently. Stoffel has 2 so far, and that's why his time has been limited throughout these last few minutes.
Taven Pierre-Philippe, who was the point guard coming in off the bench yesterday. Whistle blown the other way. Mogi, a little bit too aggressive, called for the charge.
Stony Brook was trying to keep a little confidence going, but they may have gotten a little too carried away. The run that has kept them well within this game. They can't afford to lose it.
He got into foul trouble yesterday. Got off to a hot start on both sides of the floor in the first half of yesterday's game, but foul trouble kept him on the bench for a good portion of the second half, and ultimately that was one of the Achilles' heels toward the end of the game for Stony Brook. Half the shot clock gone for Hartford. Hunter Marks in the short corner, draws the double, nowhere to go, sends it to the other side of the floor. PJ Henry for 3, misses right side of the rim, and Jaden Sales grabs the rebound.
PJ Henry is 53% from deep, and that, I guess that is pretty odd. But of course, he doesn't do too many 3-pointers, so can't take that stat seriously.
Pierre-Philippe for 3, misses from straight away. Rebound Hartford.
It looked like a good spot to me. It's just that he went too strong.
Underneath the cup, Marks opts not to shoot. Kick to the corner instead. 3 ball is off the mark from PJ Henry. And now Taven Pierre-Philippe just walks it across the floor. And Stony Brook resets on offense.
Have another chance here to retake the lead.
Jaden Sales draws a double, trying to post up, kick back out. 3-pointer on the way. TSM in and out. And the rebound, long rebound, ends up falling into the arms of Hunter Marks for Hartford.
Stony Brook having trouble with 3-pointers. They have yet to connect on one in this contest.
9.5 remaining in the first half. DJ Mitchell held in check so far today. Dances outside, feeds Williams to the cup. No good on the layup.
Good defense by Stevenson Moore, putting up that pressure, and that's what allowed the layup to be missed.
Here comes Pierre-Philippe, back turn toward the basket, into the short corner, up top, triple on the way. Jaden Sales, no good. Sky for the board, ball out of bounds, off the hand of TSM.
Jaden Sales, we don't talk about how he sometimes goes for shots from deep, even though he hasn't shown too much of a consistency yet. Sometimes he wants to take it. Talked about how he never had that going at Akron, but seems to have some more confidence in doing it here on Long Island.
9 minutes remaining in the first half. Stony Brook trailing by 1. And another turnover for Hartford. Hunter Marks was looking for a cutting Michael Dunn, and some miscommunication off the fingertips of Dunn, trying to track down the errant pass. Leads to a pass right into the bench of Stony Brook, and the Seawolves take over with under 9 minutes remaining in the first half.
They said, Jonah, we're going to probably be in for another slugfest, and right now, only 25 points combined throughout the first 11 minutes of this game. So this is what we saw last weekend at NJIT.
Another low-scoring affair. Yesterday, poor shooting. Today, poor shooting. Frankie Policelli bounced past Jaden Sales. Up top to Juan Felix Rodriguez. Sends it around. Now down low. Leighton Elliott Sewell gets the layup to fall.
He was about to get double-teamed and was almost being rattled around, but he would not get rattled himself. Stony Brook back on top.
8.5 remaining. Stony Brook up by 1, 14-13. Quick trigger three from the left wing. Off the mark from Michael Dunn. Juan Felix Rodriguez across the timeline left to right. Inside, Leighton Elliott Sewell goes up for the layup. Shot blocked, but a foul.
Elliott Sewell once again had another chance to try and keep a little momentum going, and that's what it still looks like for Stony Brook. They are now on a 10-0 run with Hartford, have not got a single point in the last 5:50. So now with Stony Brook in the bonus and the foul on PJ Henry, Sewell returning to the free throw line for a 1-and-1.
Sewell is 2 for 2 today from the line. The only 2 free throw attempts for Stony Brook. First shot is good.
Took a little bounce off the back iron. I guess drama being created, but but now you can start to feel a little comfortable.
Leighton Elliott Sewell from the United Kingdom.
Went to Otero Junior College.
Second shot. This one misses too strong. He's now 3 of 4 from the line today. Stony Brook up to a 2-point lead. Here comes Carter. Quick feed inside. Williams to the cup. Righty layup. No. Foul called.
They call it goaltending because Policelli had contact with the ball after it hit off the backboard. Fair enough.
That ties up the game at 15 apiece. 8 minutes remaining in the first half and more substitutions on the floor. Taven Pierre-Philippe comes back in. Leighton Elliott Sewell stays in the game. Looked like he was headed to the sideline. Jaden Sales heads to the sideline for Stony Brook.
And it's a little bit of a scoring run for Stony Brook, but getting them back in this game as we're all tied up at 15.
Up top to Leighton Elliott Sewell. Now drives to the basket. Righty floater. Off the mark. Too strong. And Carter brings it across the floor for Hartford. Sends it left. Nowhere to go for Henry. Back up top, Carter. Now inside to Williams. To the corner, Henry drives baseline. Inside feed to Marks, lays it up and in.
Find a good assist from Marks, from Henry apparently, who looked like he was trying to go around half court, and now Hawks are starting to get back into a rhythm as they retake the lead.
17-15 with 7:20 remaining in the first half. Mohamed Diallo into the game. Sends it up top. Juan Felix Rodriguez connects from downtown.
Finally, the first three-pointer of the day coming from number 5 himself. The JUCO All-American starting to make an impact again.
Williams gets to the basket. Lefty layup. No good. Offensive rebound. Marks puts it back up and in.
That offensive rebounds that Hartford got, that's what allowed them to win the game. Austin Williams getting that layup yesterday, and Stony Brook needs to do a better job of boxing out.
Diallo, nowhere to go at the free throw line. Up top to Rodriguez, picks up his dribble at the free throw line. Inside to Diallo, layup off the mark. Offensive rebound, Sewell, back up and in.
And Stony Brook able to produce a little second chance opportunity of their own by being able to stand back at Hartford's response.
6.5 remaining in the first half. A wide open lane for Williams, and an offensive foul called. A charge. Leighton Elliott Sewell falling to the ground, drawing the charge. Seawolves up by 1. 6.5 remaining in the first half. 20-19 the score, and we're going to step aside. You're listening to Stony Brook men's basketball in the longtime home of the Seawolves. 90.1 FM, WUSB Stony Brook. Over to Ken. 2019, Seawolves over the Hawks with 6.5 remaining in the first half. This is the 6th straight road game for the Hartford Hawks. That's the first time in conference history a team is playing 6 straight road games. That's just how the schedule shook up this year, with a few COVID hiatus I don't know the plural of the word hiatus. Hiatuses?
I think you just may as well just keep it with hiatus. But luckily enough for Hartford that they get to return home for the first time in almost a month next weekend when they host Albany. Then they still have to play NGIT in Vermont, apparently, and we're still waiting to hear on those times as well as Stony Brook's remaining opponents after UMBC.
Stony Brook inbounds it, takes it across the floor, left to right. Taven Pierre-Philippe. Jonah Karp and Zach Wilson on hand at Island Federal Arena. Thanks for spending your Sunday afternoon with us. Taven Pierre-Philippe all the way to the cup, can't finish, righty layup. Offensive rebound, Jaden Sales puts it back up and in off the glass.
Sales bailing out Pierre-Philippe on that little offensive rebound. He had 2 opportunities, missed one, but the second one, third opportunity on that possession, third time's the charm.
6 minutes remaining in the first half. PJ Henry circles around, sends it to the corner, marks for 3. Way too short. Strong rebound, Frankie Policelli. The other way, Stony Brook. Juan Felix Rodriguez picks up his dribble, left wing. Sends it to the right side. Here comes Pierre-Philippe. To the cup, it's blocked.
Pierre-Philippe wanted to foul.
PJ Henry the other direction. Quick feed inside. It's knocked out of bounds. And it's off the hands of Hunter Marks. So Stony Brook will get the ball back with 5.5 remaining and a 3-point advantage.
Well, Pierre-Philippe and Rodriguez so far today, you heard that they had a few of their shots missed when trying to run it up inside the paint to the layup. That's the fact that they're pretty much a little undersized against tall players like Stoffel and Marks. So they're going to have to be more assertive and understand how they'll beat those out.
Mohamed Diallo holds for Stony Brook, checked in off the bench. Hands it off to Frankie Policelli at the left wing. Gets it over to the short corner. Jaden Sales, no good, off the mark from the baseline, but a foul called underneath, and that's gonna be against Hartford and be an inbound for Stony Brook. Or rather, Mohamed Diallo is going to go to the line.
Jaden Sales was the one who attempted the shot, but since Mo Diallo was the one who was able to draw the foul, that brings him to the free throw line. And he is 4 of 8 so far overall this season. So that's the last foul in which Hartford allows a 1-and-1. So the next upcoming shots, next upcoming fouls that Stony Brook draws offensively, it will be double bonus.
Diallo doesn't get a lot of playing time. The junior from Harlem averages about 11.5 minutes a game, rattles home the first free throw, and averages about 3 points a game.
New approach for Gino Ford today, using players that didn't play yesterday like Sewell and Diallo, and so far Sewell leads the way with 7 points for the Seawolves.
Second shot is good. And how about this? Sewell and Diallo, the only 2 to get to the free throw line today for Stony Brook.
That is pretty much surprising. Harvard probably more used to the players that had a lot more playing time than they have in the last few games, even though they haven't played yet.
Quick feed inside. Williams to the cup. He finishes with the right hand.
And that was a nice little assist made as Williams being able to draw out the separation from Policelli. He has 2 fouls so far, so he knows not to get himself into foul trouble.
Rodriguez at the top, sends it right to Pierre-Philippe, over to Frankie Policelli. Baseline jumper connects.
That looked pure as can be, going on a little fade away. And Policelli talking about his mobility limited, but working to get out of that hump. This is a good sign that he's improving.
4.5 remaining. 5-point advantage for Stony Brook. Here comes Carter. Crossover at the top of the perimeter. Gets it over to Williams. Drives to the basket. Can't hit. Layup too strong. And Rodriguez will take it up the floor for Stony Brook. Moves left to right. And Rodriguez now pulls up. Free throw line jumper. Way too short. Misses off the left side of the rim. 4 minutes remaining. Stony Brook maintaining a 5-point advantage. Hartford with the ball.
And it looked like there was a little call right there by Stony Brook because they thought there was a little bit of a double dribble. Refs just let it be.
Carter rolls around a screen, pulls up, long 2, can't hit, and Frankie Policelli grabs the board.
And Thomas Webley tried to pick up the rebound, and he had a good height advantage, but he just couldn't with everybody else in his way.
Jaden Sales holds at the top of the perimeter. Gets it over to Juan Felix Rodriguez, nowhere to go, hands it off to Diallo. Just stands at the top, gets it to Frankie Policelli. Can't hit from downtown, an air ball, and it was tipped. So the Seawolves will maintain possession off the missed 3-point attempt from Frankie Policelli. 3.5 remaining. Seawolves on top by 5, and here comes a media timeout. You're listening to Stony Brook men's basketball on the longtime home of the Seawolves, 90.1 FM, WUSB Stony Brook. We do, Ken. A 5-point game with 3.5 remaining in the first half. Jonah Karp and Zach Wilson with you. Seawolves leading. They already have more free throws today than they did all of yesterday, Zach. They're 5 of 6 from the free throw line. It's the bench players getting it done today for Stony Brook. Right on cue. Taven Pierre-Philippe gets the inbound pass. Sends it over to Jaden Sales. Pops the three from the right wing. Can't hit an air ball.
Sales may be starting to get a little carried away with trying to go from deep. The shot clock was going down to 6, so he had to take an opportunity. And I guess I can't blame him too much, even though the shot didn't look like it had almost 100% chance.
And it just didn't have any legs under it. That's not a shot you want Jaden Sales taking consistently. He does have 2 3-point makes this season, but not a 3-point shooter. He's more of a post presence. Had the shot clock gone for Hartford. Jab step, jab step. Here comes Williams inside, sends it outside. And a 3-ball is good. That was Williams. Got the pass from Carter, and it's a 2-point game.
Well, Austin Williams being able to break out once again. It looked like it was going to be another 3-point funk for the Hawks, as it's similar to was yesterday.
Rodriguez, right side, sends it left. Pierre-Philippe, pass underneath. Diallo shakes along the baseline, and he stepped on the baseline out of bounds.
Well, this is what I'm looking at here, is that you don't want to make any careless mistakes if you're Stony Brook. Like with Jaden Sales making a 3 that if you think that you get carried away with trying to go for, it looks like Hartford already did that before today, getting a 3 of their own in response and going on a bit of a run. So you just want to stick to the game that you feel a lot more comfortable with.
Gino Ford using his bench today. Diallo checks out. TSM back into the game. Hunter Marks, who's played every minute of the action against Stony Brook this series, holds on the right wing. Gets it over to Williams. Baseline jumper off the glass and in. And it's going to be an offensive foul. How about that?
Well, how about that indeed, Jonah? That was kind of a little unexpected. We didn't really know that was going to happen. For a second, it looked like it was going to be an and one. Austin Williams called for it.
So Stony Brook catches a break. They're up by 2, approaching the 2-minute mark in the opening half. Taven Pierre-Philippe rolls around a screen to his right. Kick to the right corner. Here comes Tyler Stevenson-Moore. Up top to Taven Pierre-Philippe. Half the shot clock gone. Over to Tyler Stevenson-Moore. Inside feed to Jaden Sales. Oh, a quick pass underneath, and Leighton Elliott-Sewell slams it home with 2 hands.
Another impressive shot made by Elliott-Sewell. He's looked pretty phenomenal so far this season, and already is up to 9 points. Can't tell whether or not that's a season high for him, but good. One of his finest performances of the season.
Carter underneath to Marks, who puts it up and in. 28-26, 90 seconds remaining in the first half.
Stony Brook with 28 points so far. That's how much they got yesterday in the first half. So let's see if they can do better than they did in the first half.
Pierre-Philippe backs his way inside the paint. Loses control of the ball, out of bounds. Got it over to Jaden Sales, and Jaden Sales just threw an errant pass looking for Juan Felix Rodriguez. 1 minute, 18 seconds remaining in the first half. Stony Brook with a 2-point lead.
So even with that Miroslav Stoffel, Hunter Marks being one of the biggest bodies on the court right now for Hartford has kept them in this game, even though we are still seeing foul trouble on both sides.
Stands at 6'9", the Australian. He passes it downstairs to Austin Williams. Up top to Tracy Carter. Pulls back, resets, and rolls around a screen. Out to Williams for 3. Misses too short. And Frankie Policelli gets the rebound for Stony Brook under 1 minute to play in the first half.
And that's how Stony Brook's been able to work well with defense for a little while.
Policelli fakes the 3, picks up his dribble at the top of the perimeter, hands it off to Taven Pierre-Philippe, gets around a defender, drives inside the paint, pulls it back, feeds Leighton Elliott-Sewell downstairs, strong layup, falls.
Oh, this has been the Leighton Elliott-Sewell show to the extreme for Stony Brook. Leading the way with 11 points. I tell you it again, probably his best performance of this season, especially in his first season with Stony Brook.
Shot clock turned off. Hartford can hold for the final possession. Tracy Carter dictating the offense, rolls around a screen set by Stoffel, now pulls it back. 5 seconds to shoot. Here comes Carter, long range triple, in and out. Ball batted out of bounds with 0.3 on the clock. Stony Brook knocked it out of bounds, and they have a 4-point lead. Studio telling you everything you need to know during our halftime break. You're listening to Stony Brook men's basketball on the longtime home of the Seawolves, 90.1 FM, WUSB Stony Brook. Jonah Karp, Zach Wilson on hand from Island Federal Arena. Stony Brook with a 4-point advantage over the Hartford Hawks, entering half number 2. 30-26 is the score. We're about 1 minute away from resuming action here at Island Federal Arena. Let's break down the first half while we can, Zach. Stony Brook already hitting more free throws than they did yesterday. That's number 1. Number 2 is the points off turnovers column, completely flipped on its head.
Yeah, as you said yesterday, Stony Brook did not capitalize on any turnovers that resulted in points, but today they lead that category 12-0. Hartford hasn't capitalized on any turnovers that they have created. They do have 2 steals so far coming from Williams and Carter. Blocks made by Marks 2 times and 1 made by Williams himself. Hunter Marks is leading the way right now for the Hawks with 11 points. But Leighton Elliott Sewell with a season-high 11 points. But when you put it into Division I terms, it is a career high. His actual career high was last season when he was still with Otero. In the game against Western Nebraska, he did put up 27 points in a 109-101 victory for his team.
The bench making an impact for the Seawolves. Leighton Elliott Sewell, like you mentioned, Zach, a season-high 11 points. Tyler Stevenson Moore, 2 points. Mohamed Diallo, 2 points. Frankie Policelli, 2 points. 2 points in total, the entire bench for Hartford. So Stony Brook winning that margin as well. And like we said, the points off turnover column completely flipped on its head from yesterday. 15 points off of turnovers for Hartford yesterday. 0 today. It's a 4-point advantage for the Seawolves over the Hartford Hawks. 30-26 Stony Brook over Hartford as we enter the second half of action.
Well,
go ahead, Zach.
Here's an interesting stat before we get the second half underway. In those last 0.4 seconds, Alex Christie was in the game. He only plays when it looks like a game is about to be certain in the last few minutes, but it seems as he was in there because of defensive purposes. So it's really rare for him to be in a position like that.
Alex Christie is the tallest player that Stony Brook boasts. He's the only 7-footer on the team, but doesn't see much playing time. Second half of action, backdoor feed, layup no good. DJ Mitchell was all the way to the cup, just couldn't hit the wide open layup. That's how the second half gets underway. Here comes Stony Brook the other direction.
Very unfortunate for Hartford. It was very clear. You're about to guarantee 2 points.
Jaden Sales is stripped, gets the ball back, half the shot clock gone, sends it up top to Mo Gee, swings it right to Tyke Green. He's been quiet today as well. Green drifts to his right, gets it all the way to the left wing. Here comes Mo Gee, pulls back, 3-ball connects.
Mo Gee had 1 3 yesterday that nearly gave Seawolves a chance to win, but what a solid start to the second half for Stony Brook, leading with 7, the largest margin of the game.
Over to Tracy Carter in the corner, fights off Juan Felix Rodriguez, bounce pass to the baseline. Hunter Marks misses air ball on the baseline jumper. Tyke Green takes it the other way across the floor. Green picks up his dribble right wing, sends it left to Mo Gee. Feed inside to Jaden Sales. He draws the double like he has so often in this game. Sends it up top to Gee once again. Sends it left, Omar Habwe for 3. Misses too short. Gee on the putback.
Mo Gee getting the first 5 points of this first half for Stony Brook. What a great fiery start.
It's a 9-point Stony Brook advantage. 35-26 with 90 seconds off the clock in the second half. Tracy Carter trying to shake off Rodriguez. He does. Carter pulls up. Left elbow jumper. Misses too short. Sales skies for the board.
Well, a little momentum that this has started to put in Stony Brook's favor. They had as much as a 10-point lead late in the first half, and right now they're leading by 9 to start the second half.
Gee picks up his dribble right wing. Bounce pass to the baseline. Jaden Sales draws the double again. Up top to Gee. Nowhere to go. Thinks about a 3. Inside Sales. Turnaround jumper. Misses too strong. Gee again. Another offensive rebound, and he's fouled.
And he just did 1 push-up right before he comes up. He's really getting a lot of good sparks going and really gives a lot of great boosts for Stony Brook.
Loose ball foul on Hartford. They make a substitution. Michael Dunn checks in for Austin Williams. 2 minutes off the clock in the second half. Stony Brook to inbound it with the shot clock reset to 20. Bounce pass along the baseline. Jaden Sales backs his way inside the paint, works against Stoffel, and he loses the ball. Ball out of bounds. and it's going to be Hartford basketball.
Well, Jaden Sales is going to have to anticipate more that he is going to be starting to draw a lot of double teams, and he's been noticing that most recently. And when he has chances to go to the bucket, he needs to observe everything that's around him.
Jaden Sales has a pretty jump shot, also a strong post game. That's why he's drawn the double. Kick to the right corner. Marks, thinks about a three, then sends it up top to Tracy Carter. Trying to shake off a couple of defenders. Back up top to Marks. Shot clock down to 9. Carter pulls back from downtown, connects. And it's a 35-29 advantage, and that's going to warrant a timeout from Gino Ford. A 6-point advantage for...
And with Indiana Pagan having a great performance this weekend against Hartford, odds are she could win the America's Rookie Player of the Week.
Stony Brook with possession. Juan Felix Rodriguez takes it across the floor, gets it over to Tyke Green, the other side of the court. Back to Rodriguez on the left side. Feeds Jaden Sales at the top of the perimeter. Inside feed to Rodriguez. Kicks it out to the corner. Green for three. Can't hit. Offensive rebound. Jaden Sales. He's stripped. Omar Habwe gets it back for Stony Brook. He can't hit on the putback. And here comes Hartford pushing quickly the other direction. Mitchell thinks about a three. Gets it back to Carter. Carter drives inside. Goes baseline and can't hit on the layup. Here comes Mo Gee for Stony Brook.
Habwe putting up strong defense on that quick fast break opportunity by the Hawks, trying to slow down their momentum.
Juan Felix Rodriguez gets it inside to Sales, draws the double, kicks it back out to Green, over to Gee, back to Green, 3-ball on the way, misses too strong. Habwe fighting for the board, ball out of bounds into the Stony Brook bench, and it's going in the other direction to Hartford. 3.5 off the clock in the second half. Stony Brook still with a 6-point lead.
Well, yet still returning to the court for Stony Brook. He's been really the main catalyst so far, having a season-high 11 points in this game, trying to put up a little more to keep the boost rolling for Stony Brook.
He has the team lead with 11 points. Marks also has 11 points. Drives baseline, now gets it up top to Michael Dunn, who can't hit from downtown. And here comes Rodriguez. Walks it across the timeline right to left, directing the offense, gets it over to Gee, back turn toward the basket at the free throw line, up top to Policelli, pulls back, long range triple, nails it!
Southpaw stroke has come back to IFCU Arena, and Policelli just regains that momentum on his own end.
The Stony Brook lead back up to 9, 38-29. Michael Dunn holds at the top of the perimeter. Swings it left. Carter nowhere to go. Tight defense on him from Leighton Elliott Sewell. Carter still with possession. Up top to Stoffel. Sends it to the corner. Dunn for three. Misses too strong. Dunn collects his own rebound, and it's taken away by Mo Gee.
Gee being able to work on a good read of being able to put that more pressure, and that's how Stony Brook eventually ends up with the rebound and back with possession.
Gee working baseline, backing his way inside the paint. Swings it right. Policelli from the parking lot. Bullseye!
Another deep one, regaining that little Steph Curry-esque. And now it's a 12-point lead for Stony Brook as we enter the 15-point mark of the second half.
41-29, Stony Brook over Hartford. Frankie Policelli igniting the offense right now. Williams, crossover, free throw line. Trying to shake off Gee. He does. Feed inside. Stoffel lays it up and in with the right hand.
The things were almost starting to get away from Hartford, but being able to put up a little play like that, Stoffel playing with 2 fouls, I think he's starting to lay off a little pressure since he's been able to still provide as much as he can.
Rodriguez rolls around a screen, set to his left, floats it up, misses everything, and Carter grabs the rebound for Hartford. 10-point game, 41-31. Quick feed inside, and Stoffel can't collect. Quick trigger from the corner. Mitchell can't hit from downtown, and Stony Brook will take it the other way.
It looked like Hartford almost had another chance to try and put up a little confidence booster and a little momentum, but Stony Brook still working well with defense, and the shooting has gone well as well in the second half.
Leighton Elliott Sewell swims inside. A tie-up right near the basket. Whistle blown. Foul called against the Hawks. 14-14 remaining in the second half.
And that will send us to another media timeout.
Just about 6 minutes off the clock here in the second half. Stony Brook has a 10-point advantage, 41-31, and now we're going to step aside. Come back with us. You're listening to Stony Brook men's basketball on the longtime home of the Seawolves, 90.1 FM, WUSB Stony Brook. Over to Ken. Ken Furman, thank you. a 10-point advantage for Stony Brook here at Island Federal Arena with 11 minutes remaining. Jonah Karp and Zach Wilson with you. Thanks for spending your Sunday afternoon with us, a basketball matinee. The second half of an America East back-to-back weekend series between the Hartford Hawks and the Stony Brook Seawolves. Stony Brook looking for some revenge. They fell yesterday to the Hawks, 59-57. They basically handed them the game late in the contest. Stony Brook now trying to pick up their first victory against the Hawks, Zach, in their last 5 attempts.
Well, where you're standing right now with a good chance to win this game because you're halfway through the second half and you have a 10-point lead with possession of the ball. Stony Brook was really close at this point between the Seawolves and the Hawks yesterday, but let's see if the Stony Brook can continue to change that formula as they have so far.
Frankie Policelli, who's been catalytic here in the second half, inbounds it, smothering defense, full court press. Hartford all over Stony Brook, and now Stony Brook trying to walk it across the floor. And they do with Taven Pierre-Philippe, who's orchestrating the offense. Walks it across the timeline, gets it over to Leighton Elliott-Sewell. Inside, he's stripped. Stoffel picks it up, and here comes Hartford the other direction. Austin Williams pushing in transition, peels it back outside Stoffel, back over to Williams. Williams swims inside, gets to the cup, lefty layup, falls.
And that's how defense for Hartford is still trying to put up a little momentum. Tracy Carter staying in there as long as he can since he's practically one of the best defensive players that Hartford can rely on. Stony Brook needs to try and get back to scoring.
Mogi holds right elbow for Stony Brook with 10 seconds off the shot clock. Outside, Pierre-Philippe tries a three. He can't hit. Offensive rebound. Hobway back up. It's blocked. But the long rebound collected by Stony Brook. Frankie Policelli puts the ball on the floor. Long two from the short corner. Can't hit. And here comes Hartford. Austin Williams collects the rebound and gets it over to Carter.
And that's how defense still works for Hartford because they know how essential it was yesterday as it was today.
Backdoor feed and the slam with two hands for Stoffel. We were talking in the break, Zach, and you were certain that the momentum was in the favor of Hartford, and it looks like out of this timeout that you are absolutely correct. Another timeout. This time Gino Ford calls it.
So Stony Brook needs to change the rhythm offensively because they have not gotten any shots down in the last 4 minutes. Hartford currently on an 8-0 run. Stony Brook had a double-digit lead yesterday, but they ultimately blew that. Of course, it was late in the first half, so that gave a lot of time for Hartford. But when you're up like this, you can't let any loose ends off. You still need to implement what you can do at your best. Right now, it's been a bit more of Hartford trying to use the height advantage with who they have right now. But of course, Austin Williams, Michael Dunn are still on the court right now, and they have 3 fouls. Stoffel and Carter have 2. But because Hunter Marks has none, it's allowed him to play a lot more than he has hoped to play today, and right now he does lead the team at 13.
Stony Brook had a lead for most of yesterday's ball game. Late in the game, Hartford climbed back, and then a late putback off an offensive rebound for the Hawks with 15 seconds remaining ended up giving them a 2-point advantage, and they hung on after a pair of missed free throws from Jaden Sales. Looking to steal away another game from Stony Brook. The Seawolves, now 7-8 overall, falling to under 500 after yesterday's loss. 9.5 remaining in this ball game. Stony Brook up by 2 possessions. It's 46-40. Mogi holds it at the top of the key. Quick feed inside to Leighton Elliott-Sewell. Has it blocked and stripped. Here comes Tracy Carter the other direction. Saunters across the floor. Carter gets inside. Works against a couple of trees near the basket and sends it backwards. And that goes all the way to the backcourt, a backcourt violation as Austin Williams tracks it down, and a break for Stony Brook.
For a second, I thought one of the Seawolves did touch it, which wouldn't have led to a backcourt violation. But fortunate enough, it's another turnover for the Hawks, and Stony Brook really needs to capitalize on the points off of turnovers because they still lead that category 12-7. Both teams scoring 20 points in the paint.
8 turnovers today. Rather, check that 9 turnovers after that one. For Hartford, they finished with 7 yesterday. Gee gets inside, sends it outside. Frankie Policelli spins around a defender, sends it up top to Juan Felix Rodriguez. It's picked off. Tracy Carter the other direction, blocked by Gee. Mo Gee getting back on defense, swatting that away. Stony Brook the other direction. Policelli picks up his dribble left wing. Dunn all over him. Policelli up top to Mo Gee. Gets it over, right wing. Rodriguez for 3, connects.
And that's how Rodriguez keeps a little momentum on Stony Brook's side. Kept it from whittling away, and after not scoring for a little while, he's able to stop that scoring drought and put it back to a 9-point lead.
8.5 remaining, 49-40. Another low-scoring affair between these two America East foes. Tracy Carter, quick feed along the baseline. Stoffel looking to back his way inside the paint. Up top, Carter. Carter pulls back. Long two, can't hit. And the rebound taken down by Jaden Sales. Whistle blown.
Sales being able to draw a foul at a moment like this is also going to be pretty big. And now that Stony Brook seems to have gotten out of that funk, Carter hit with his third foul. But that is not keeping him out of this game because as long as he stays in, Hartford's defense can remain strong. But if he's out, then I think Hartford's defense may whittle away. So if anything, Stony Brook, probably a key in these last 8 minutes, is to try and draw more fouls on Tracy Carter if possible, because that's going to put a lot more pressure on him and the defense overall.
Tyke Green looking to inbound it. He does. He gets it over to Frankie Policelli. Back to Green. Ball still in the backcourt. And Juan Felix Rodriguez walks across the timeline right to left. Rodriguez picks up his dribble along the free throw line. Up top to Frankie Policelli. Puts the ball on the floor. Works against Dunn. Sends it over to Hobway. Left elbow. Hobway now puts the ball on the floor. Tries to get to the basket. Righty layup falls.
Took a couple of bounces, but Hobway hasn't played in a little while and gotten any points, but he is able to keep a little fire back on Stony Brook's side and is back to a double-digit lead.
51-40. Can Stony Brook step on the jugular and finish this one out strong? Stoffel to the cup. He can't hit. Layup no good, but he drew the foul.
But I think that's well enough because of those 2 points and put momentum back on Hartford's side. But Stony Brook still putting a little fire, and that sends us to another immediate timeout.
7 minutes, 38 seconds remaining in the second half. The Seawolves holding on to a 51-40 advantage over the Hartford Hawks. Let's step aside. You're listening to Stony Brook men's basketball and the longtime home of the Seawolves, 90.1 FM, WUSB Stony Brook. Back to Ken. Thank you, Ken. 7 minutes, 38 seconds remaining in the ball game. 51-40. Seawolves over the Hawks. The Stony Brook Seawolves coming into today 5-4 in America East play. Hartford coming in at 7-4. If Stony Brook pulls out a victory today, they usurp Hartford in the America East standings.
Well, this is really a battle. This is definitely shown to be a battle for third place in the America East today and this weekend, apparently.
First shot from Stoffel at the line. He connects.
Stoffel is 45%, so I guess you could say that's a rarity for him to do that. Him and Jaden Sales, both the same type of way they play at the free throw line.
He misses the second one, left of the rim. And the rebound collected by Tyke Green. Hands it off to Juan Felix Rodriguez.
So we remain at a 10-point game in favor of Stony Brook.
Jaden Sales holds at the top, guarded by Stoffel. Hands it off to Omar Hobway. Jab step at the left elbow. Pulls back. Long two. Hits!
Nice. Omar Hobway loving the feeling, loving the shots. Just wants to go from a good left elbow, and he connects.
Hobway started a handful of games before the COVID hiatus back in late December, early January. Other direction, Austin Williams. A wild shot attempt. It was swatted back and collected by Juan Felix Rodriguez. Now pushing in tempo. Policelli wants another. Give him another!
Give him another, give him another, give him another, give him another. That is what the theme has been in the second half. Frankie Policelli and his southpaw stroke. 15-point lead now.
Is there an echo in here? Whistle on the other end.
4 of 5 Policelli is from deep today. That brings him up to 14 points. One more three-pointer, and he has a new career high. His career high is 16, which he had 3 times this season.
Hartford to inbound it, 8 seconds off the shot clock. Inbound pass goes to Stoffel, backs his way inside the paint against Jaden Sales, sends it up top to Carter, and he's pickpocketed by Green. Green pushing in tempo, works against Williams, ball poked out of bounds off of Williams. Ball staying with Stony Brook.
Remember how Stony Brook only had 57 points yesterday against Hartford?
I do.
Well, 6:32 left to go, and you know how much they have now?
56.
Yes, so they can. So that definitely shows a vast improvement shooting-wise today.
Juan Felix Rodriguez inbounds it to Frankie Policelli. Has it in the corner, works against DJ Mitchell. Mitchell's been quiet today. Policelli all the way to the cup. Lefty floater, no. Misses too short. Williams pushes.
Just didn't have enough strength to push in enough.
Williams is stripped the other way, but it's off of Stony Brook. Omar Hobway got a fingertip in there. Ball out of bounds, and it's staying with Hartford.
Well, looks like that's where the limited mobility of Frankie Policelli started to lock him down in some way. But it's not stopped him from giving Stony Brook a good chance still. They still have a good lead, and as long as they hold it for the next few minutes, the win's in sight.
15-point advantage for Stony Brook. Here comes Dunn, drives baseline, pulls it back over to Marks. Marks now swims inside the paint, righty layup, falls and one.
Policelli tried to get another block. Looked like it was about to be a hook shot for Gee. And Gee is assessed his third foul, and Hunter Marks also putting up a big clinic. He leads his team with 15 points so far. Still no fouls, and that's why he has not been limited in any way at all.
6 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in the second half. 13-point lead for Stony Brook. Marks with a chance for one more to make it a 12-point lead, and it's in and out. Long rebound, tracked down along the sideline by Green, but he stepped on the sideline.
It's unfortunate. Green was about to force one and only one of two for Marks, and now Hartford has another chance to make it more than 2 points on this possession.
56-43, Stony Brook with the advantage. Inbound pass to Stoffel, gets it back to Williams, shakes off a defender, drives inside. Omar Habwe on the floor, draws the charge.
Nice, brilliant move by Habwe. He also sacrifices his body. Him and Elliott Sewell playing that game well and keeps the turnovers rolling. And Austin Williams, his fourth foul. One more, and the leading scorer on the Hawks is out for the rest of this game, and that could drastically change the next 6 minutes.
56-43, Stony Brook with possession with the basketball. Omar Habwe gets the inbound pass. Tight defense on him. He's guarded by Austin Williams. Hands it off to Juan Felix Rodriguez, crosses the timeline. Rodriguez trying to shake off Carter. He does. Rolls around a screen set to his left. Rodriguez still with the ball on the floor. Gets it back out to Jaden Sales, who pulls back for the long two. He can't connect. Rebound Hartford. Here comes Carter the other direction.
Stony Brook still trying to improve on their shooting as they are just one more shot away from having more points than they did yesterday. Defense is there.
Carter draws the double. Kicks it back out. Stoffel for three. Misses, too strong. And Juan Felix Rodriguez, with nobody near him, grabs the rebound.
Thought that if he had a three-pointer right there, that he could change momentum like he did yesterday, but it's still stagnant for the time being, and Stony Brook still holding on to a good lead, but still almost there.
Rodriguez picks up his dribble right wing. Gets it over to Mogi, puts the ball on the floor, works against Marks, bounce pass over to Juan Felix Rodriguez, pulls back for three. He can't hit too strong, and the rebound tracked down in the far corner by Austin Williams. It goes out of bounds, and the Seawolves will maintain possession with the shot clock reset to 20.
Quick thinking right there by Green, being able to force the ball off of Hartford, so they had to go and try and save it to get it back into their possession, and Stony Brook gets another scoring opportunity.
Under 5 to play in the second half. Rodriguez gets the inbound pass, bounce pass up top to Jaden Sales, works against Stoffel, back turn toward the basket, hands it over to Mogi, circles around, pulls back, long two, misses too short. A tough rebound for Tyke Green, puts it back up and in. Tyke Green is one of the smallest players on the floor, and that was a tough rebound, Zach.
That's what makes him very squirrely, very shifty, and how he's very elusive wherever he is.
Carter the other direction, kicks it out to Mitchell, drives baseline, long two, can't hit from the corner. And the rebound taken down by Stony Brook. Green pushing up the floor, guarded by Mitchell. Gets it over to Rodriguez, who stands on the logo, and now Stony Brook in no rush, up by 15. 58-43, the offense moving at a glacial pace. They don't have to move any faster than that. Rodriguez, behind the back pass. Green in the corner. Green with a jab step against Mitchell, draws a double. He falls to the ground, whistle blown, and that's a foul against Hartford.
And I think they're also calling a technical foul as well, because Carter may have put up a little too much of an argument.
3 minutes, 59 seconds remaining. 58-43, Stony Brook over Hartford.
So that'll send us to another media timeout.
Yes, it will. You're listening to Stony Brook men's basketball on the longtime home of the Seawolves, 90.1 FM, WUSB Stony Brook. Let's send it back to Ken Furman in the studio. 3 minutes, 59 seconds remaining in the ball game. The Seawolves with a comfortable 15-point advantage, 58-43 over the Hartford Hawks. A win today would bring Stony Brook back up to 500 on the season, an 8-8 record. And it would be their first victory against the Hawks in their last 5 attempts. It would also usurp Hartford in the America East standings. The standings go as follows: UMBC, Vermont, Hartford, and then Stony Brook. A battle for third place right now in the America East standings. Can Stony Brook hang on? Right now, Frankie Policelli at the free throw line to shoot a technical free throw. First shot is good.
So he got a chance at another one, which would be able to give him his fourth career high of 16 points, which he does.
Frankie Policelli has 4 3-pointers here in the second half. Just hits 2 free throws to put the Stony Brook Seawolves up by 17, 60-43, with about 4 minutes remaining.
Talk about a tale of two halves for Stony Brook players. In the first half, it was all about Elliott Sewell, and in the second half, it's been Policelli.
The bench players catalytic today. Wide open pass to Jaden Sales, who can't connect on the dunk. Long rebound out to Dunn. Quick trigger 3, can't hit. In transition, ball just bounces out of bounds. Stony Brook will recollect on offense.
Well, the Tyke Green shot play that we saw a little while ago, the rebound that he made with one hand. Stony Brook men's basketball Twitter immediately said after that, "Hey, OBJ, did you teach Tyke Green this?" I tell you, because he went with the one-handed rebound and made an incredible play. Yep, that's very Beckham-esque.
Juan Felix Rodriguez, entry feed. Tyke Green trying to get a little fancy inside, looking for Jaden Sales. Ball is poked out of bounds, but it was last touched by Stony Brook, so Hartford's going to inbound it, trailing by 17.
You have a good chance to win this game now that you're leading by 17 with 3.5 to go. Just don't get too careless or anything. At this point, you want to do a lot more of milking out the clock as much as you can.
Carter with a 3 from the top. He can't hit too short. Rebound collected by Stoffel. Back over to Carter. Free throw line jumper is in and out, and an offensive foul called against Hartford.
That's on Tracy Carter, and he is done. The leading defender on the team for the Hawks has been disqualified today, and the defense of Hartford, even with him, has just not been able to stop Stony Brook's improved shooting, as they're currently on a 14-3 run in the last 6.5 minutes.
So DJ Mitchell checks in for Carter, who's done. Won't play the last 3.5. Tyke Green across the floor. Hands it off to Juan Felix Rodriguez. A 17-point lead for Stony Brook, trying to milk as much clock as they can. Rodriguez shakes off Henry, pulls back, long 2, got it!
And Rodriguez starting to put up a little reinvigoration of himself. Hasn't done much yesterday and hasn't done much to start this game today, but he's starting to put himself into a groove, as he also has a shot from deep.
Dunn fakes the 3, sends it up top to Marks, trying to get inside, trying to draw contact, ball out of bounds, and it's off of Marks, Stony Brook ball.
Leading by 19 with less than 3 minutes to go, you may as well start to say that this game is starting to come back to Stony Brook's favor, as they are very close to their first win against Hartford since March 5th, 2019.
Some of the starters still in. Mogi, Jaden Sales, Juan Felix Rodriguez, Tyke Green, all starters for Stony Brook, all still in the game. The one non-starter, Taven Pierre-Philippe, who came in off the bench with no Jordan McKenzie in this series. He's been the point guard off the bench for Stony Brook.
Stony Brook looks like they're going to be able to pull away with this win. This is exactly the type of confidence that they need entering a big-time matchup next week with the UMBC Retrievers, who are projected in several brackets to compete as a 16th seed in the NCAA tournament. Weeks ago, Stony Brook was in that category until they started to have started losing 3 of their next 4, or actually 4 of the next 5.
It's a 19-point lead for Stony Brook. All the way to the cup. Pierre-Philippe has it blocked. And here comes Hartford. The other direction, a whistle blown the other way. A defensive foul called against Stony Brook as Briggs McLean tried to get to the basket. The first minutes he's seeing in this series.
Sales called for a second foul, but you all think it's a little too late. As of course, as you said, Briggs McLean heading to the free throw line. This is probably actually his first attempt of his career.
The freshman from West Virginia, first shot. Nails it.
The most points that he has seen in a game this season was 2 against Binghamton back on January 2nd. It's been 3 seasons at St. Maria Goretti Catholic High School and averaged 18 points per game as a senior.
He makes both free throw attempts, so making the most of his opportunity, matching his season high with 2 points. And it's back to a 62-45 lead for Stony Brook.
And Briggs McLean back to his career high of 2 points. Policelli's not in, so I guess you can say that he ends his day by achieving his career high of 16 points for the 4th time this season. Seems like he's starting to shake off that limited mobility and that groin injury that he had during practice this week.
Mo Gee called for the travel off the inbound pass, and the ball is going to go back to Hartford.
Well, Hartford still trying to put up a little full court defense, trying to do anything they can despite the deficit. Stony Brook does, as I said, they can't get too careless because they are just right on the cusp of a huge win.
Immediate foul off the inbound pass for the Hawks.
That
PJ
was-
Henry drew the contact.
That was the last foul to give for Stony Brook before that sends Hartford into the bonus. So both teams are now in the bonus throughout the last 2:13 of this game.
And John Gallagher has emptied his bench. Holding baseline is Thomas Webley over to PJ Henry. Henry gets inside, muscles his way inside the paint, floats it up and makes it. And a timeout on the floor with 2:04 remaining in the ball game. 62-48, Stony Brook over Hartford.
So here's a little fun fact you'd like to know. Hartford, they're starting to try and get a little bit of a comeback rolling here with just 2 minutes to go and down by 14. But the fact is, last time Stony Brook hosted Hartford here, last time Stony Brook won at home against the Hawks back in February of 2019, Stony Brook had a huge lead. They were up by as much as 20 and in the second half, and they nearly whittled that one away. Hartford, I believe they came to as close as 6 or 7, like in the final minute of that game, but Stony Brook just able to hold on. Might get the Sun, and now might get a funny feeling that unless Stony Brook is able to hold on to possession of the ball from here on out, Hartford may once again have the same look. A near comeback attempt that may just fall short.
Stony Brook still has 4 of their 5 starters in the game, despite John Gallagher emptying his bench late in this contest. Tyke Green inbounds it over to Taven Pierre-Philippe. Trying to get it across the timeline. Gets it over to Juan Felix Rodriguez, who walks it across the floor. Back to Pierre-Philippe, who holds near the logo and milks the shot clock as much as he can.
So it looks like that'll start to put a little more guarantee into the Seawolves' 8th win of the season and being able to put them back into 3rd place in the America East.
Pierre-Philippe draws a double, sent to the corner. Mo Gee, it's off the foot of a Hawk, and that's going to be a shot clock violation. The shot clock was winding down. I mean, the goal for Taven Pierre-Philippe was to milk as much of shot clock as he could, and he did just that, just Stony Brook couldn't get a shot off.
Well, Jaden Stills had a chance to go inside and try and make his own layup attempt because he hasn't really done much of that today. He only has 4 points. But you got to figure Stony Brook being able to milk that shot clock still has a chance. Just make sure you're certain.
McLean picks up his dribble, left elbow. Up top to Henry. Shakes off a couple of defenders, picks up his dribble, feed inside, and Thomas Webley connects on the layup. It's a 13-point game with 1 minute and 17 seconds remaining in the ball game. We're going to step aside for our final timeout. You're listening to Stony Brook men's basketball in the longtime home of the Seawolves, 90.1 FM, WUSB Stony Brook. Let's send it back to Ken in the studio. Thank you, Ken. Final minute of action here at Island Federal Arena. 62-49, Stony Brook with the lead and with the ball. Juan Felix Rodriguez at the logo, back turned toward the basket, now puts the ball on the floor, picks up his dribble over to the left elbow, feed inside to a wide open Tyke Green, goes up for the layup, no good, too short, foul called.
Well,
and Green will go to the line.
Undersized with the layups most often for people like Rodriguez and Green. Doesn't give you too much of an opportunity to roll inside, but you can still be able to draw fouls as long as you do it accordingly. And Green has 2 points so far in this game, has not done much except for that big play we were talking about before, how he one-handed the rebound with like Beckham and got the layup afterwards to really bring up the Stony Brook bench.
First shot from the line is no good. Off the back of the rim for Tyke Green. Led Stony Brook in scoring yesterday with 15 points and 10 rebounds in yesterday's outing, a loss 59-57. Second shot falls for Green, and that's just his 3rd point of this game. But it's a 14-point advantage for Stony Brook. Inside, McLean has it swatted back by Taven Pierre-Philippe. 36 seconds remaining in this contest, 23 seconds to shoot for Hartford. A 14-point advantage for Stony Brook. McLean gets the inbound pass, Puts the ball on the floor, left wing, dances around, picks up his dribble. Feed to the left side, Webley. Picks up his dribble. Here comes Henry, trying to shake off Mogi. Inside to Webley, 6 seconds on the shot clock. Webley kicks it out. 3 ball from the top of the perimeter, in and out, and bounces around. Rebound, out of bounds. Who was it last touched by? It was off of Mogi, and so Hartford will hold for the final possession. Only 12 seconds remaining.
We gotta give credit to Stony Brook in their win today. And just for the last 12 seconds, Lenny Kadisha will check in for Mogi. Mogi finishes off a good day as well. Had good, decent looks by being able to put up some nice defensive plays.
Long inbound pass goes over to McLean. Feed inside to Webley. It's knocked out of bounds. Ball staying with Hartford. Now 8 seconds remaining.
Mogi led the team in blocks again today as he put up 2 blocks. Had 9 points off of 5 rebounds. So another decent performance by number 2.
Inbound pass to Webley. Over to McLean. 5 seconds remaining. McLean's three-pointer is blocked. Stony Brook will get the final possession. Green the last to hold it, and that'll do it from inside Island Federal Arena. The final score, Seawolves 63, Hawks 49. A much-needed victory for Stony Brook, not only in the standings, not only this season, but in this series.